Hello, and welcome to Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda. We have a great program today. We have our news stories, community bulletin board, and 55 plus news. But first, a social media reminder. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also on Facebook and WERA 96.7 FM. And now on to our first news story for this week. The Virginia Department of Health has posted the following unwelcome announcement. Starting July 17th, 2021, the reporting schedules for these dashboards and accompanying data sets on the Virginia Open Data Portal will change from daily to Monday to Friday by 10 a.m. This means that our previous Sunday to Sunday reporting will be accurate only through the previous Friday. No reason was given for the reduction in the Virginia Department of Health's reporting. As of Sunday morning, July 18th, reports show the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Arlington increased again, up to 15,372 Friday to Saturday. We at Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News will continue to monitor the situation as the summer progresses. As for vaccinations, as of July 17th, 146,127 Arlingtonians have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. And the number having received 2 doses was 131,119. Arlington's total population is listed at 231,803, but not all of them are eligible. Detailed census data is not easy to obtain, but our best estimate of Arlington's population under the age of 12 is about 19,000. Deducting that figure from the total population yields 212,803. Based upon that calculation, the percentage of eligible Arlingtonians who are at least partially vaccinated is around 68.6%. Hopefully, the recent expansion of eligibility will help this number improve. The Metropolitan Washington Area Transit Authority has released the following announcement. Metro will expand train service to midnight, 7 days a week, starting Sunday, July 18th. The extended operating hours are the first in a package of service improvements passed by Metro's Board of Directors in June that will add more all-day rail service, create high-frequency bus routes, and improve service across the region. As of this broadcast, the expanded service has already begun. And now on to our next news story for this week. The swim and dive teams at the Dominion Hills pool are ditching the Warriors team name and moving away from Native American motif. They released the following announcement. We decided to stop using Native American imagery at our pool and the name Warriors for our swim and dive teams. While the name Warrior has several meanings and by itself is unobjectionable, the teams have used it in connection with Native American themes. The board decided to solicit ideas from the members for a new name and mascot. It started de-emphasizing the use of the name this season, according to an email to team families. The pool's board is open to a name that would permit members to use existing gear, which bears a feather illustration. Here is an online etymology from Oxford Languages for the word warrior. The origin is Middle English, derived from the Old Northern French word warrior, which was itself a variant of the Old French word guerrier, a noun derived from guerrier, meaning to make war. The original French root word gar is still in use today. Going deeper into the history, the Middle English period ended around 1450, some 42 years before Christopher Columbus's first transatlantic voyage. Historically, the term has nothing to do with Native Americans. However, there is an old French saying that might apply to this case. C'est la guerre, which roughly translates as, it can't be helped. And now on to our last news story for this week. The Clarendon Alliance, which organizes the annual Clarendon Day event each fall, has issued the following announcement. We regret to inform the community that we have canceled Clarendon Day for 2021. A compressed production timeline, increased costs, staffing changes, and the ongoing concern of COVID-19 and the Delta variant made the viability of an event at this scale too risky. Watch for more great programming on a smaller scale. We all continue to bring our community together and celebrate all that Clarendon has to offer. The event is expected to return in the fall of 2022. More than 1,000 people have already posted on Facebook that they plan to attend Clarendon Day, which was scheduled for September 25th. Well, that does it for the news for this week. Now on to our community bulletin board.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. The regular live concerts by the Arlington Philharmonic have been prevented by COVID, but now they're available online for enjoyment from home. Here are some of the recent dates and events. From January, a performance by the Arlington Philharmonic's Youth Chamber Music program, Crescendo. From February, celebration of Black History Month, featuring composer Ahmed Alabaka. From March, a different performance by the Arlington Philharmonic's Youth Chamber Music program, Crescendo. From May, yet another performance by the Philharmonic's Youth Chamber Music program, Crescendo. And from June, a performance by the Arlington Philharmonic recorded at St. George's Episcopal Church. And all of these performances are just a click away via the Arlington Philharmonic website. Next up, we have an event for Arlingtonians ages 18 and up. Marcia Chatelaine, the author of Franchise, The Golden Arches in Black America, will be around for a Zoom discussion of her book. Marcia Chatelaine is a scholar, speaker, and strategist based in Washington, D.C. She teaches courses in African American life and culture at Georgetown University. When she's not in the classroom, she's on the road, talking to audiences about our nation's pressing and pervasive social issues, including racism, universities and the history of slavery, as well as activist movements. This event will be held via Zoom. Instructions to the Zoom webinar will be emailed to all registrants. Now, about the book. Often blamed for the rising rates of obesity and diabetes among Black Americans, fast food restaurants like McDonald's have long symbolized capitalism's effects on our nation's most vulnerable communities. But how did fast food restaurants so thoroughly saturate Black neighborhoods in the first place? In her book, Franchise, Marcia Chatelaine uncovers a surprising history of cooperation among fast food companies, Black capitalists, and civil rights leaders who, in the troubled years after Martin Luther King's assassination, believed that they had found an economic answer to the problem of racial inequality. With the discourse of social welfare all but evaporated, federal programs under Presidents Johnson and Nixon promoted a new vision for racial justice, that the franchising of fast food restaurants by Black citizens in their own neighborhoods could finally improve the quality of Black life. Synthesizing years of research, Franchise tells a troubling success story of an industry that blossomed the very moment a freedom movement began to wither. You don't have to read the book to join in, but it is encouraged. It's coming up on Thursday, July 29th, from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. You can register through the library website by searching under Events. Next up, it's all about Nkula. That's Nkula. Boasting all the key ingredients of a complete reggae outfit, Nkula brings a heavyweight sound to the stage, most notably flaunting a three-piece horn section that breathes life into a set of uniquely African-influenced reggae rhythms. Nkula released its debut EP, Zion Rock, in January 2021. It consists of 5 original compositions focused on personal empowerment, self-reflection, and spreading a message of peace, love, and unity. Fellow DC reggae legend Jim Fox teamed up with the band to produce the album, and Ryan Bertie, of the 2-time Grammy-nominated SOJA, directed the music video for Nkula's first single, Judgment Day. It's clear that they have the chops, and this is the reason that Nkula has gotten the nod to perform on some rather grandiose stages, including Wolf Trap, the Lincoln Theater, the Kennedy Center, the Freeman Stage, and the Sprint Pavilion. They've also had the distinct pleasure of opening the stage for major international reggae acts such as UB40, Shaggy, SOJA, Steel Pulse, and Anthony B. Stay tuned, as Nkula is on a mission and already cranking out its second album with the intent of releasing it before the end of 2021. The show is coming up on Friday, July 30th at 8 o'clock p.m. at the Lub Run Amphitheater, 200 North Columbus Street. Next up, another Lub Run event. This is about the 19th Street Band. Characterized by high energy and strong vocal harmonies, the 19th Street Band brings together a constellation of Americana, country, and rock with a taste of punk. They ignite an audience with their passion for music, their magnetic presence, and enthusiasm. Bridging the musical traditions of bluegrass and roots from Ireland to the Appalachians, their eclectic gypsy rock spirit literally leaps from the stage and engages the crowd in the music. That's coming up on Saturday, July 31st at 8 o'clock p.m. at Lub Run Amphitheater, 200 North Columbus Street. Next up is Mr. John and Friends. Mr. John and Friends makes music for kids and their families that inspires fun, laughter, and dancing. Sometimes with a band, sometimes as a duo, and sometimes solo, the music of Mr. John and Friends is sure to bring a smile to your face. That's on Sunday, August 1st at 11 o'clock a.m. at Lub Run Amphitheater, 200 North Columbus Street. For more information about these concerts, call Arlington Cultural Affairs at 703-228-1450. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Our first presentation is called Cardiac Health Risk. You can learn what it means to have a heart attack, the greatest risk factors, and how to assess for them. Rachel Riley Shelton, FNP-C, and Selma Hack, MD, will teach you how to identify the risks and make changes to reverse them. Reverse the risks, that is. Once you're having an actual attack, it's kind of hard to reverse it. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 914-500-3. And that's coming up on Wednesday, July 28th from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. This is a virtual event. Next up, come on, it's time to get going with a morning walk with the Aurora Hills Fast Forwards. They walk a 2 to 4 mile loop, including some hills. Now, since it's still summer, they're starting a little earlier before it gets too hot. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 914-201-4. And that's coming up on Friday, July 30th from 8:30 to 10 o'clock a.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. The next event is called Still Life Drawing, but it's not about people making moonshine. It's a drawing class for beginners and also for anyone who wants to hone their still life drawing skills. Participants should bring their own drawing materials. It'll be presented by volunteer art instructor Ruth Kling. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 914-89908. And it's coming up on Friday, July 30th from 10 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. This is another virtual event, and that's why you gotta bring your own materials. Finally, in CBB, it's a program called Age Has Its Perks. In case you were wondering, PERQ, spelled P-E-R-Q, is an abbreviation of perquisite, which means a benefit or a tip or a bonus of employment. Though it's occasionally found in print and in newspaper stories, PERQ with a Q is not found in most dictionaries. The accepted spelling for the abbreviation of perquisite is P-E-R-K, usually rendered as the plural perks. So now you know. Anyway, they say there are countless discounts available for older adults, including restaurants, shopping, prescriptions, travel, and other products and services. But the question is, how do you find out about them? Arnie Clark, the co-founder of theseniorlist.com, will answer this question and many more. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 914-400-19. And it's coming up on Tuesday, August 3rd from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. You gotta be 55 and up because it's senior perks. And 55 plus membership is required. And it's another virtual event. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news.
July of 2021 marks 5 years of the Arlington Weekly News since the passing of Don Hammond, its creator. We still haven't forgotten him. Here is Don's final interview with another member of the Arlington Weekly News group who will not be forgotten, Rich Masabny.
This perhaps is a great interview for me because I'm talking to the guy who hired me maybe about 30 years ago, and he's been the executive producer of the Arlington Weekly News, Don Hammond. How many years has it been, Don?
Well, let's say 81. You do the subtraction. 34 years, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah, right.
You know, I dare say, knowing something about television around town and all, whether the commercial stations or access as we are, you have probably been around this longer than anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Until someone else claims better.
That's right. That's right. I'm curious, how did you get started and why did you get started in doing, was it always the Arlington Weekly News or was it something else in there?
Well, when we first started out in 81, we got our show and the news in Spanish were taped together. And PAC TV was the organization, just a citizens organization
yeah.
that promoted public access. originated two of those shows. We taped them both on the same night with the same technical crew.
Really?
And so on, right? And we did that for until we got into the 3-camera situation over in George Mason Metro Campus.
Yeah, yeah. And then we moved into this building here. How many years ago do we guess?
Well, that's been about 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, that long. We don't really know exactly how many people are watching our shows. We're on channel 69, Comcast 69, and also Fios, Verizon, channel 38. And we're on Thursday nights at 6 o'clock and repeated Saturday morning at 10:30, and then the next Monday night at 8:30 p.m.
Sometimes I understand they show us at 3 in the morning, too.
That's what I understand. Yeah, that's what I understand. I haven't seen it, but it probably is the case. You know, they have something to fill in. What does it take, Don, in these times to produce a show? I have a pretty good idea being around you and around the crew and all that, but you've got a crew that's been working with you and us for some time.
Yeah,
sometime.
That's correct. Well, that's what we rely on, don't we?
Yes, yes, yes.
We couldn't do it without the help of a dozen other people who you don't see on camera generally.
And there's so many talented people. For example, behind camera right now, taking a picture of us, is Bill Calder. He's been with CBS and all that, so he's an experienced guy. And then there's, I can't name them all, but there's Hef Munson.
Right.
He's directed the show sometime around here, and I know there's a lot of talent because I had a little stint on not for long, a few months on Channel 9, and to be honest with you, I mean I don't know what they showed that's so greater than what we do.
Right.
You know, this is what changes have you seen over the years, you know?
Well, on the technical side,
yeah,
we started out originally with 3/4 inch, they called it U-matic tape.
Okay.
Which I think it was generally used by industry mainly. Back in 1981, there weren't any tape machines were just coming into being. Remember beta tape?
Sure, sure.
Those were just coming into being at those times. So then we switched, when we came into this studio, we switched to what they call beta, beta SP.
Oh, okay.
It was a 1/2 inch tape. And then about, I don't know exactly, we went to mini DV tape.
Oh.
These are all tapes that people could use on their home cameras. And then just a couple of years ago, we went tapeless. So we got a machine to record on now, something other than tape.
You know, really, a lot of talented people who work on this show. I mean, you know, all of them have some background, you know, and then they bring that experience to here to the access station, and I'm very funny about this. We don't have much time, but I'm very funny about this. I feel that access, which gives opportunity for the irregular person to possibly come on the show, you know. But the talent is the camera guys, everybody else, you, all of them, the guys in the control room there, Jay and others, and Cam, are so talented that they could very easily be doing the same thing at a network television station.
Yeah, imagine, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I've known many of those people. So anyway, I want to thank you very much, Don, for being the executive producer, and I wish you'd do another 30 or 300 years, you know. Right?
Well, I'll probably be rolling over in whatever they say by then.
Well, I want to thank Don Hammond very much for taking the time out to talk to us about the show. So I want to say goodbye. Thank you, Don, very much. This is Rich Masabny.
And now a bit of commentary. The last County Board COVID work session took place on May 4th, 2021. Since then, our weekly tracking of COVID cases in Arlington has progressed as follows. On May 5th, 15,226 cases. On May 16th, 15,266. On May 23rd, 15,289. On May 30th, 15,293. It held steady for the first half of June, but on June 20th it went up to 15,301, repeating on June 27th. Then, on July 4th, the count had risen to 15,316. On July 11th, 15,341. For July 18th, the most recent report, 15,372. After the short lull in June, cases are rising again. Single-dose vaccination rates in Arlington are still under 70%, and the county board has been largely silent. Yes, there have been the occasional short video messages, but it seems clear that a more sustained effort is still needed. Elsewhere, the county website has contained the following message since the end of April. The county board adopted a $1.4 billion balanced general fund budget on April 20th, 2021. The final adopted budget document will be available soon. Now that it's well into July, it's time they made those details available. And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.